see. Sorry people. Hi everyone, it's Grada Robertson here with Eli, and we're back for Tuesday's talk with Grada. Okay, I'm having a few IT problems today, but we're on the road and it looks good now, so sorry for being late. Today I want to really talk about a subject that I'm totally 100% passionate about. That's energy medicine. So I've worked as an energy medicine practitioner now for since the year 2000, and I truly believe that energy medicine or energetic healing is the future of medicine, because it makes logical sense, right? And in the end, logic always wins, because if you look at us humans, or apparently if you take out all the spaces in our body, you can fit all of humanity, all 8 billion people, into a little sugar cube. That's how much space we have in our body. So apparently we are 99.999% space and only 0.00001% physical matter. So if we have a problem in our material world, we tend to go, like, say, for drugs or things to move the problem away, but we can actually access the root cause of the problem through the energy immediately, like directly, and then we can change it. We can scoop that energy out, throw it away, and the energy starts flowing again and your life begins to work. So I see that all the time. So I worked with a client one time who her hearing was affected in one ear, right? And so I was able to see right into her body, find the cause of the problem with the ear, and after a few sessions her hearing had returned. And also the beauty about energy work is that you can do it remotely. So because energy is of course not confined to space or time even, I work with clients all around the world, and you can do that too, by the way. So I'm telling you about energy medicine because everyone has the ability to transmit energy from their hands into a body part that's hurt, or you can heal your children or your grandchildren. And when you do energy transfer or energy healing, apparently it transmits the healing energy into the cells of your body at the rate of 190,000 miles per second. Whereas when you take a drug, apparently that only the healing information of the drug has to go into your tummy, or even if you put it on your skin, and that only goes like a centimeter per second, and the further it has to travel, the more of that information is lost. That's why when people have serious health problems, they really have to slam themselves with heavy drugs. Whereas if you use energy medicine, which is energy that comes out of your hands, you can access their problem straight away and reduce the pain and heal the problem. So what happens when people start to feel that their body responds to the healing energy? Let's say if I'm working with you, and if you're listening to this video, and you can tune in and allow your body to be open to receive healing as well, people just start to feel a warm, tingling wave of energy that rushes through your body. And it means now your body, the cells of your body, have recalibrated themselves to a better, healthier state of being. And so when you receive energy healing, you often feel this sensation. You receive a shift, an energetic shift that feels like tingling, or a sense of warm energy. Some people feel cold energy. And that means your body is getting it, it's working, it's receiving, and it's resetting itself to like a new energetic frequency that's going to create health and well-being in your life, create easy relationships, makes your money flow. And of course, because energy medicine doesn't have to just be confined to the problems in your body. They can heal your relationships, your finances, your purpose in life, your energy levels. And just as a funny, I'll do a demonstration in a minute, but all my grandchildren, when they were born, and the first time I got to see my grandchildren, I could already see how they came into the world with an energetic imprint of where they are most likely create problems later in life. So that is often already visible at birth, because we all come in with imprints, with genetic information from our parents and our ancestors, and then sometimes from past lives as well. So and so, like with my own newborns, as soon as I could feel that, I worked to dissolve the energy frequency. And quite often some of those children are 4 now, or 7 or 10, Eli is 7. But I know, okay, they have a predisposition for the energy blocks to always develop in the bladder, or in the front of the heart, in the back of the heart. I have a little granddaughter, and her energy is always blocked in the back heart chakra. And that means that while she's a very, very chatty person and easy to connect to, there are things on a deeper level. She's a very, very private person, and there are things that she will never want to share with other people, even though on the surface it looks as if she's very, very easy to connect to. But at a different level, she's also very private, because the back heart chakra is all the things that you want to keep to yourself. So how does energy work? And in a minute, I'll teach you a few little techniques that will boost your immune system. But I'll just show you with Eli. Like if he's in my room, this is my beautiful, handsome grandson, and Eli is 7. So I'm just going to feel today where his energy is blocked right now, and it's actually pretty good. A little bit at the back of the neck, and it's really, really good. He's like in perfect shape. You can see that. You can see how healthy he is and handsome and smart. Okay, but let's just try to see how his body reacts to a toxin. So mercury is very toxic to our body, and it's in our drinking water, you know, in our rainwater, I should say, which comes in the drinking, and many other things, and it's highly toxic to the brain. So, and maybe you can tune into that as well, but here I feel an imbalance, and especially the frontal lobes, right? So that shows that Eli has a little bit of mercury in his body that's affecting probably his behavior or the way he thinks, because our higher thinking centers are in the frontal lobes, and sometimes it means that his thinking will be interrupted, and then the behaviors aren't so good. Do you ever have like bad behavior, or not really?
Sometimes.
When do you feel like you wish you could be different, but you just can't help it, or you feel real crabby for nothing? Do you feel like that sometimes, or not really?
Yeah.
And what happens then? Do you get sent to your room?
Yeah, sometimes.
Or do you just go to sleep?
Sent to my room.
You get sent to your room, and how does it make you feel then?
A bit sad.
Yeah, exactly.
Grumpy.
Alright, so often we judge children's behaviors, and we think it's like their nature, but it's just a surface behavior that you're dealing with. And the root cause of their behavior is often toxins and things they're getting in their diet that their bodies can't handle, because children are totally prone, like so sensitive to everything, to outside, even to our emotions. Like even if you and like mommy and daddy are having a fight, the energy of that fight stays in the house for 30 days unless you clear that, right? So there are also ways that you can clear the energy. So let's clear Eli's mercury. I'm just testing it for others. So Eli needs a little bit of zinc as well. And then adrenaline. I've got adrenaline. So he's very calm right now, but it shows his body is still in a state of fight and flight. And that makes him explosive. Do you know what explosive means or not, Eli? When you have an outburst, like an angry outburst, or you start screaming or something. Okay, so let's just clear all of that in one go. So I'm using my hands, but when I do distant healing, I just close my eyes and I can see all of this, what I'm using my hand for today, in your body, just with my psychic eyes. And everyone can do that. It's a skill that can be learned. All right. So, Eli, how old are you today?
7.
Okay, so I'm just going to count back. We're looking for a root cause. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, age 3, something happened that was really tricky. But do you remember anything when you were 3? It was a trauma. Okay, so 7, it's 4 years ago. And I think it could be something to, I'm just talking out loud now, something to do with Eve, his mom, taking over alchemy, so suddenly she had a business to go to. No, it's not that, his body says. Okay. Kaya, his brother, didn't go to school till he was 5. So I think something is bringing to mind when Eli was a little boy, he had a really scary event on the beach. Do you remember that, or are you too young? I think it was Turner's Beach, and he was in the water because he's a real water animal. And suddenly, there was a bit of a rip or a current.
Yeah, and I went down the current.
And it swept him away real quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
And he couldn't swim, he was only 3, but was a little daredevil. And thankfully his father, Arthur, just managed to snatch him. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I was probably 4, at I was underwater and I got stuck underwater by something, and Papa put his hair to try to get me, but his hair got stuck.
Oh.
So he couldn't get me. So but then he got his hand out and grabbed me.
That's all very scary. So sometimes kids will start to, you hit on something, a trauma, and they'll actually fill in the details. And by the way, even if some of the details don't match up to real time, it doesn't matter because it's being released from the heart center. So we respect everything that comes out. So when Eli was 3, he had a very, very quick incident, and to his body it felt like I'm going to drown, and it was already like his spirit already left his body because it happened really quickly. It goes like, I'm out of here then, right? And I did give him some healing sessions after that. And how that affects him today is sometimes he doesn't feel cheerful. Like he can be feeling very cheerful because he's a happy body, happy person, but sometimes that can just slip away from him, and because the trauma will cross his nervous system and upset him again, right? So lucky at the time I did several sessions on Eli to clear all the trauma, and this is what happens if you say have a nasty incident like that, and all of us have those, and that trauma gets embedded in the nervous system, and it forms a major glitch that your body then always has to navigate around, and it eats into your joy, and it makes your life harder, more of a struggle. And because our external world, our circumstances are simply a match to our internal frequency, the way that we operate at. And if you have trauma frequency in your body, it's like when you stub your toe, you keep stubbing your toe all day long because the trauma attacks trauma. That's why it's so good to get rid of it. So I want to get rid of that trauma a bit more today, because Eli's body is telling me I sometimes feel threatened when there is no threat, right? And that's still from when he was 3. So I'm just going to clear that from his body now for the sake of this, so that you can see it. The body, I'm just sending that out into the best straight, so you're not getting it. So the energy is leaving his body and it's going into the sea. And I'm just healing his tummy a bit as well. So like there. And so it's coming up from his tummy and out through his brain. I'll do a little bit more work on that later. So straight away, that's an energy, massive energy shift for Elijah. There's more to do, so I'll finish that later. So this is how energy works. We can get the information, we can clear the information, we can dissolve it, and you feel free and liberated, and now your nervous system and immune system gets a chance to heal itself. Your immune system, by the way, is never older than 7 years old. It always has the consciousness of a little girl or a little boy, right? So your immune system doesn't operate on logic. It has a different coding system, and it's coded and coded like a little 7-year-old boy or girl. So if you want to boost your immune system, you have to really tune into the feelings of your body and the energy of your body, right? So let's do some immune system work today, right? So the first one that we can do is like on the brow line, just here on the side. You tap those points, and if you feel the flu coming on, you can do it too, Eli. You tap those points, I'll just show you. Just around here, and you just do it several times. You can do this quite hard on both sides, and that will immediately boost your immune system and open the channels. When people first start to do energy work, they always want to move their hands, right? Because we're so used to doing things and being active all the time. So tapping and stuff is really good. You can also tap this. This is what monkeys do. They go like this and they boost their immune system, especially when they feel a threat. And even when we feel a threat, or even old trauma is reactivated, we feel threatened, or if you watch the news, the immune system goes down. So just bump it like that. Okay, so today I thought I'll show you an energy trick, how to boost your thyroid. So first of all, activate your hands and go like that. Okay. And now you can close your eyes, drop into your heart, and imagine your heart is a ball of green, the color green, and it's traveling through your shoulders, through your arms, and coming out through your hands. Now you have a firm ball of healing energy between your hands. Yeah. And you can put that in your own thyroid. Just push it into your thyroid. You can make a ball again and put it in your thyroid. That's boosting your thyroid, and the thyroid is a very important part of your immune system. But let's say you're watching the video, you can put this into your brain if you have a headache, or if you feel stressed, or you've got the 2 o'clock slump, or you're feeling confused. And you don't actually need to touch your forehead. Okay, so now the energy flow is coming out through your hands, and you can feel it as a tingling energy, and you can actually hold your fingers all around the base of the thumb, which is the neck area. This is releasing your neck and tuning up the thyroid, which sits in here. You want to do that? So today everyone's thyroid is affected by all the toxins in our environment, in our food, and also, of course, the neck is to do with how you communicate, and people finding it scary to speak out and to speak truthfully and to share, to be who they are, and people are not listening well either. This is all to do with your thyroid, that in the end is going to affect your neck and your thyroid. And just by simply putting the energy, healing energy, back in the reflex points, your body will know what to do. It travels into your neck, into your thyroid, and it recalibrates that organ of your body. The thyroid is responsible of how heavy you are, right? If your thyroid is sluggish, you're going to grow more fat cells around your body. You put on weight, you can just put on 10 or 5 kilos overnight. And so by rebalancing your thyroid, it helps you to lose weight, to stay slim, to feel calm, And then I feel this is working now in my hands. So like sometimes you start to feel it tingling. You feel a response in your body. So everybody's response is different. So just do the other side now. So when the thyroid is really, really healthy, you feel buoyant, you feel resilient, you feel like you can ride the waves of life. It doesn't matter what life throws at you, you just ride the waves, you're not drowning under the waves. And even if you drown, you only drown for a little while and you come back up and you still feel light and buoyant and cheerful. Okay, so I already feel this side is taking a lot more energy in my body. So the right side, this is the right side of my body. That can mean I'm a little bit low in potassium. And the left side of your body is to do with sodium. So I'm going to have a little bit more salt after this session. So just practice this, and you can take 10 minutes a day. I had a client about 15 years ago, and she had a chronically hyperactive thyroid, so that was different. So hers wasn't sluggish, hers was too fast. She was really, really skinny. She had heart palpitations, her eyes were bulging. She was anxious and irritable, and I taught her how to do this. And she religiously did it every morning before she got out of bed for 20 minutes, like 10 minutes each side. And she completely restored the energy flow to her thyroid, and she became very, very healthy. And she's still going strong today. Okay, so this can take time. So my body is saying I probably need another 10 minutes, but you know, you understand. So like problems that we're struggling with in our body today, or in our lifestyle, or in our relationships, they didn't form overnight, right? The root cause of nearly all of our problems can be found in our childhood, and that's why you need a really good healer to help you find those issues. Even if they're further back, like often it's grandparents or ancestors, it can all be uncovered and revealed. And then those memories of your ancestors are triggered by a primary traumatic event in your childhood. So let's see how Eli's energy is now. I'm going to test him again. So he's good now for zinc. Still a little bit of adrenaline, but nowhere near as bad. So I'll finish that off after the session. And the mercury has left his brain, but I feel it a little bit in his tummy. So after the session today, I will finish off. And I'll make sure that he's fully balanced. So this session was to do about energetic medicine, or energy medicine, which I feel is the most intelligent, rewarding, holistic way of fixing or healing your problems, right? So they don't recur as well. And healing can happen anywhere in the world, because as soon as I tune into you, or the energy already starts to shift. So it doesn't matter if you're in Canada or in Australia, like even what I just did with Eli. I've worked with little children on the other side of the world, and I still use my little allergy testing kit. And one time I tested a client in Queensland for a particular allergy, and she got a bit of an allergic reaction, like an asthmatic reaction. The second I tested her, and she wasn't even here, right? So that's how powerful it is. Anyway, of course I was able to dissolve that reaction, and she was able to go off her antihistamines after that session. So there are many, many ways to approach energy healing, but I feel it's the fastest, quickest, most profound way for you and me to heal our issues today, so we don't pass them on to our grandchildren. And our children and grandchildren are free to be their own beautiful selves without being burdened with our issues. Right? And this is called the era of enlightenment. We're all moving into that, whether people realize that or not. Enlightenment just simply means we're becoming more light-filled, right? But as we become more light-filled, more of our issues and dark spots, you could say our glitches, come to the surface, because the universe wants to actually deal with them now. The universe doesn't want us to leave those glitches that we're conscious of and just forget about them and push on. Now the universe wants us to deal with them now, and we can. So I'm going to encourage you to do that quick energy tuning that we did before. Most of my clients get it very, very quickly, and they've continued to go on and heal the aches and pains of their hubbies or their kids. And it's very, very exciting, and there is so much more to come. So I hope you enjoyed this session, and that you really wake up your sixth sense again. And thanks, Eli, for sharing your beautiful energy with us today. Enjoy the school holidays, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye, everyone.